It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
The Utah Jazz rally late and win in overtime. They beat the Dallas Mavericks 140-133. Now, some of you are thrilled by that. Others of you are disturbed that a draft pick might be slipping away to Oklahoma City. Why don't the Jazz do something about that? Why don't they tank games? And Austin Ainge said they weren't going to tank games. Okay, well, Austin Ainge was asked a direct question in a press conference where saying we are going to tank games is an unacceptable answer that would get the club fined. I, however, saw Nurkic resting. He was out officially for rest in a super loud suit. Hey, guys got to let the personality flow. Why are they resting a big man? They don't have that many big men. I mean, how are you going to win? Oh. Was that the first obvious sign of a tank right there? And did it not work because Keanu George was scoring again? 37 points. Too short of a career high. I seem to remember a 39-point game somewhere. The last time. Last time out. And Filipowski and Markkanen went off because Dallas didn't play their big guy either. Didn't see AD out there. And suddenly, the rim was wide open. And everyone could have a go. So the Jazz win. And the Jazz have got a nice little stretch of games going here. They've won 4 of their last 6. They've won 5 of their last 8. We wanted improvement. We're getting improvement. At what cost? at the potential cost of a draft pick. Hey, pick your poison. And many of you have. It's up on our Facebook page, DJ and PK. We'll get to all of that coming up. But it did feel a little like fool's gold watching the game. It was tied at 129 going to overtime, and it was just too high scoring. Now, having said that, if you don't have the size, if you don't have someone at the rim, you're probably a bad defensive team. I mean, we can tell guys to stay in front of guys and prevent the straight line drives, and they can work at that. But NBA players' offensive skills are borderline magical. And if you don't have someone blocking shots, protecting the rim, you're in trouble. Now, are the Jazz really improving, or are they benefiting from the other team trying to tank too? It gets really hard to read. It's like it's not real. What it reminds me of is minor league basketball. Now we know it as the G League. There was a time it was the D League. Back in the dark ages, it was called the CBA. And there was a team in Santa Barbara, and I had to cover it, the Santa Barbara Islanders, who lasted, I think, 2 years. Maybe a year and a half. They might have left and they might have folded mid-season. I'm not sure. They weren't there very long. And the number one thing you recognize right away, they don't have bigs. Everybody drives. It's my turn basketball. In that era, everyone wanted to score points and get back to the big leagues. Now it's a little different. It's better because the teams have control and they run the same system. They tell them how to play, and you're in their team. Those teams were all independents. So they're running different systems, and it really turned into my turn basketball. And it really, without a rim protector, it wasn't real. You could do stuff in those games you couldn't do in another game. You couldn't do in a real NBA game when there are 1 or sometimes even 2 tall, long, 7-foot shot blockers out there. And in the NBA, you really see the difference between a 7-footer and the 6'9", 6'10 guy. The 6'10 guy, and Dallas had those guys, right? Gafford is pretty big, and he didn't play that much. Powell's pretty big. He's another 6'10 guy. But it just opens the game up. Highlight of the game, don't be late to the game. Did you see Ace Bailey miss the first shot of the game and go get his own rebound and throw it down with one hand? It's all over social media. If you haven't seen that, go find that highlight. That was super impressive. We know he's athletic. We know he's energetic. It's still shocking to see. It was super impressive. And if you missed the first 30 seconds of the game, you missed it because he did it about 15 seconds in. All right, Jazz win. We'll get into more about the draft pick hanging in the balance, and we'll do that coming up next. Hot takes or toast question of the day coming up in the next segment. DJ and PK.
NBA.
Headed by Jordan Walsh, off to Duncan, back to Cade. Screen by Duran, Cade leans in, fires and hits a three. So smooth.
Quiet the crowd.
96-90.
On Wiggins, drives, steps back, now has Adebayo. Inside, Pirtle floats it up and in, banks it in. Under serious duress.
Bounce pass down low to Thompson, and he throws it away. Loose ball comes down over to Cam Johnson. Front court, Murray in a three. Yeah! 95-93, Denver leads it by 2.
And the Denver Nuggets go on to beat the Houston Rockets in a showdown of two of the top 3 teams, obviously with Oklahoma City being the other. Denver wins 128-125 in overtime. Now, this should have been a marquee game, but it was a mess. I was texting with a Denver Nuggets fan during the game about something else. I'm like, I can't concentrate. Right now, I'm worried about NBA officiating. And sure enough, that's from a Nuggets fan who didn't like the way things were going, and they won the game. And then afterwards, Houston Rockets coach Ime Udoka, quote, "That's the most poorly officiated game I've seen in a long time. 2 of them have no business being out there, and the crew chief was acting starstruck." Zach Zarba was the crew chief. Natalie Sago and Jamal Rawls were the ones who had no business being out there. Here's a great quote from Ime Udoka. "You're seeing all kind of inconsistent calls, and I'm sure we should have gotten a few more texts." You people are so terrible, you didn't give us the technical fouls we deserved. Nice. The inconsistency, yeah, that'll get you every time. That's what they want. Call the game consistently. Denver wins in overtime. Those two could see each other in the playoffs. Wouldn't mind seeing a playoff series right there. The Joker fouled out and was on the bench for the final minute of OT as Denver won the game. 39 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. And Sengun nearly matched him. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Point centers. Give him the ball and let him run the offense. 10 assists each for 2 big guys. In the race to the bottom, not many teams around the Jazz, near the Jazz played. The 2 that did, obviously one of them was the Mavericks, and the Jazz beat them. And the other was the Clippers, and the Grizzlies beat them 121-103. The Clippers seemed determined to finish below the Jazz in the standings. They've now lost 9 of 10. They're 6-20 overall. As the curtain come down, we've talked about the Warriors. You know, there comes a point where they're too old. They can't stay healthy. There are flashes. But any great win is followed up by a loss the next night, and they end up being a 500 team. And the Clippers can't even pull that off. Harden, 13 points in 31 minutes. Shadow of himself. Kawhi Leonard did play. 21 points in 37 minutes. The bench, not very good. Clippers get beat. Looks like they're a team that could separate the Jazz from the bottom of the standings for sure. NBA Cup final tonight. Knicks and Spurs, T-Mobile Arena. Reports emerging the tournament could be moved out of Las Vegas beginning next year. The league wants to stage the semifinals and finals in a neutral site. They don't want to be a team venue because first thing I thought when I heard that is, they want to go to Madison Square Garden? Want to go to New York? You want to go to L.A.? More media coverage? Wait, those are team venues. Go to L.A. Play in Albert Gersten Pavilion. Back to the WCC, people. Let's get some fold-out bleachers. Where will they go? Seattle? International? Vancouver or Montreal? What are they thinking? To an NFL dome. Bigger crowds. So many possibilities. We'll see what they think. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
Well, the 2 bits of news involving BYU, and to both of them I say, can we hear them get to the conference season? The Big 12 looks really good. Looks like there's some good teams. I want to see BYU play these teams. But the news is BYU holds static in the AP poll at number 10. The basketball poll, not much of a thing. I suppose if you get to number 1, you get super excited. But we all know BYU is going to get tested in the Big 12, and then they're going to get tested in the NCAA tournament, and that'll determine what we think of this team. Which, because of DeBonce's obvious draft potential is kind of just a one-and-done scenario for the whole team. I mean, you're kind of building a program, but a couple big pieces out the door real quick. And that's college basketball now if you're at the elite level. The other bit of news, they play tonight. The Pacific Tigers. I don't know, they don't like UOP anymore, do they? They want to get rid of that. They want to be Pacific?
Yeah, I think it used to be UOP, and obviously you have that history.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, but they've got kind of gone away from that. They're the Pacific Tigers.
Well, it's a W for BYU by 30 or however many points the coaching staff decides to win by.
So these 4 games, starting with the UC Riverside game leading up to Big 12 play, DJ.
Yeah.
BYU's chances of winning these games, at least the percentages, 99, 97, 99, 99. So this is
Who's the 97?
It's Pacific tonight.
No.
I'm just saying, that's what the...
I don't know how they make that stuff. I don't pay any attention to that stuff.
I'm just saying.
And I love me a good number.
These are supposed to be absolute blowouts.
I believe that part. That part I believe. I love a good number, but I don't know how they figure out these percentage winning chance, and it's got to be 99.99999. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
The Pittsburgh Steelers stay on script. They beat the Miami Dolphins 28-15. They have won 23 straight Monday Night Football home games. There's a stat. I don't know how far back does that go. Holy cow.
That was an ESPN thing I saw. So
they stay atop the AFC North. Their odds to win the North are really good because the Baltimore schedule down the stretch, the Ravens are a game back. And the Ravens, this is going to be difficult. They've got the Patriots, then they have to, at home, their last home game, then they go to Green Bay and they go to Pittsburgh. That is not a friendly schedule. And Pittsburgh, with a one-game lead, still has the Cleveland Browns on the schedule. So one more win, they get to 9. Can the Ravens win 2 out of 3? And then win the tiebreaker. It's not done, but Pittsburgh, who's going to Detroit and Cleveland the next 2 weeks and then home to face Baltimore. Pittsburgh, the overwhelming favorite to win that division, which I think would make the 5 seed a pretty tasty place to be. The Chargers, the Bills, maybe the Patriots if they back up. If they were to lose to the Steelers, could be seeing the Steelers again because Pittsburgh, whoever wins the AFC North, is going to be the 4 seed. So for the 5 seed, you got to go on the road. You got to be on the playoffs. But at least you get a lesser team and an easier path to get started if you're going to make a deep playoff run. Pittsburgh looks, or Baltimore, whoever wins that division, looks like they'll be the worst team in the tournament. Houston's coming now. Houston's got 9 wins. Whoever wins the AFC North will probably be the only AFC team without 10 wins. The other 6 will all be double digits. Most of them are already there now. But for the Steelers, hey, Aaron Rodgers, cold weather game. It was cold, and he must have been flashing back to Green Bay. He looked there were guys wide open. I was watching the Jazz game, so I didn't see all of the Monday night game. But every time I flipped over, it seemed like Aaron Rodgers was throwing to somebody who had nobody around him. Except for DK Metcalf. That was one of the most dismissive touchdowns. They should never, ever let the varsity players go back to the elementary school and play tackle football. He was just throwing 4th graders out of the way.
And Aaron Rodgers said it's one of the highlight reel plays of his career. That one did.
It was a highlight reel play. I'm with Aaron Rodgers on that. He stumbles, a guy comes in, just grabs him by the shoulder pad, throws him to his right, and then the poor guy stayed on his feet, but someone coming downfield blocked him. Now, that's not going to be fun to watch on tape. Super impressive touchdown by Metcalf. They ran the ball. Here's the thing with Pittsburgh. They're going to win the division. Mike Tomlin doesn't let his teams play bad football. So they always have a winning record. And in a division where it looks like nobody else is going to win 10 games, maybe the Steelers will get to 10. They win the division. But are they good enough to make a run in the playoffs? Now, the thing you do get with Rodgers that you really only get with Buffalo is playoff experience. Who's won playoff games? Not Bo Nix in Denver. The Chargers? No. The Jaguars? 1 game. They got one playoff win over the Chargers when the Chargers blew the lead. New England, their guy Drake May, new to the playoffs, so there's not going to be much playoff experience, but the Steelers, they beat bad teams, they lose to good teams. It's hard to believe they're going to do much when they get to the playoffs. And hanging over Tomlin's head is, it's run its course. He can't win a playoff game, nor does the roster look like it's built to win a playoff game. Really, you were planning on making a deep run with a 40-plus-year-old quarterback? That's the kind of thing you do in desperation if you have 3 quarterback injuries in Indianapolis. But that was the Steelers' plan from the get-go. Until they get back in the elite quarterback business, it's hard to believe that they're going to go anywhere. Patrick Mahomes has already had a surgery to repair the ACL and the LCL in his left knee. Procedure was performed by Dr. Dan Cooper, head team physician for the Dallas Cowboys. If you're the head team physician for the Chiefs, you're like, hey, what about me? I'm not chopped liver. You specialize. You specialize in shoulders and you don't do knees.
Or is he a surgeon by trade at all? That's the question about all this.
It is confirmed Micah Parsons did tear his ACL. We all suspected that. That's what it is. Jaden Daniels, we were talking earlier about shutting him down, and he is being shut down. They don't think he's going to be ready for the next week. The Commanders aren't going anywhere. Why run him out there and have him risk another injury? Shut him down. Colts announced Phillip Rivers will be their starting quarterback next Monday. Anthony Richardson has been medically cleared to play after a facial fracture. One of those rubber band rope exercising things
bands,
snapped
and
hit him in the face and fractured his face. That is horrific.
Multiple fractures, too.
No. Whoever's in charge of the exercise bands needs to swap those things out. Was that exercise band being used by Peyton Manning? How old was that thing? Burt Jones? Seriously. How old was that rubber band? DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Here we go. Transfer portal, people. Quarterbacks transferring. Let's start in the Big 12. Cincinnati, Brendan Sorsby. Had some good games. Had a nice year. He's transferring. Where's he going? Florida quarterback DJ Lagway is transferring. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola transferring. Utah about to play Nebraska. Now, Dylan got hurt, so he was out. They went with another kid, so...
He had a broken leg, so he's out for the season, but...
I wondered, though, he was out for the season, but it happened either late October or early November. And so, 6 weeks, could he have been back for the bowl game?
Potentially, but...
It's all a moot point.
I think at this point, yeah.
Everybody's moving on. Arch Manning will return to play for the Longhorns in 2026, according to his father, Cooper. Good. They were 9-3, and he got better as the season went along. But, we just don't have to compare him to Peyton and Eli. Maybe he'll get there one day, but right now, come on back for another year of college. Interim coach at Michigan, Bill Poggi, said yesterday's players feel betrayed and angry following the firing and arrest of former coach Sharon Moore. I mentioned there was no playbook to follow in a situation such as this. He said the AD told him basically to love and take care of the kids. And will the intern coach as a Michigan man get promoted and get the job?
He will not. If you know anything about Biff's history, he is a hedge fund millionaire who coaches football essentially for fun.
Okay. So who's it going to be? There's rumors we're going to find out today.
We'll see.
There's rumors about Dillingham getting an extension, but there's rumors that it's not going to work out and he's going to land in Michigan. You got Fish there in Washington. Got a former Ute coach sitting by the phone. You never know. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
I just think that pace and that urgency, the urgency in the third to, not only play the right way, but bear down and score on your chances. I think if we bring that every game, we got a good chance to win every night.
There's Dylan Gunther, who does a good job of bearing down and scoring game-winning goals. We're going to talk with Mike Folta about all the game winners he's piling up. Mike Folta, Utah Mammoth radio voice, will join us coming up at 8 o'clock. The Mammoth are in action tonight in Boston to take on the Bruins. Puck drop set for 5 o'clock. So hockey night in Utah will be hockey afternoon in Utah, starting at 4 o'clock. Buffalo Sabres fired their general manager, Kevin Adams, after 5+ years on the job. the Sabres have been struggling, to put it politely.
Come on. I know you want to try this name.
They're in last place again. Kevin Adams.
No, the new name of their new GM.
Oh. Jarmi Kekalainen.
Jarmo Kekalainen.
Jarmo.
As I understand it.
Okay. Jarmo or Jarmi? Jarmo?
Jarmo.
Okay. The J you really should figure out, but the I on the end, unless you have a typo there. Is that a typo? I mean, I is next to O on the keyboard. I would have never guessed Jarmo when it ends MI.
Yeah, I believe it. I did type that one.
Oh! Led me astray and then hammered me for the pronunciation.
He spent 11 years in Columbus as their GM. He's the first European-born GM in NHL history.
All right. Well, there you go. Buffalo in last place, comma. Again. Sure, they made the change. The important thing is that the Mammoth got Peterka out of there before they made the change. That's what's important.
Meanwhile, Josh Doan's been playing pretty well out there in Buffalo.
What is trending? Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Mike Folta, Mammoth Radio Voice at 8 o'clock. Ben Anderson talking jazz. We will also talk jazz next. Ben will be here at 9 o'clock. We will be talking jazz next with the question of the day because the Jazz are winning, but there's a segment of the fan base that isn't too happy about that. We'll get to that coming up. Stay with us.